What's up, guys? It is Magi coming at you with another cast from Chobo Team League. Week number 2 in the Master Set. Once again, we have a TVZ. Spawning into the bottom left-hand corner from Pigpan for Taste the Bacon is Stefan. As the purple Zerg pieces. On the opposite side of the map in game number 1, it is Hannibal, the green Terran pieces from Insight Gaming, making his return for week number 2. I did look into Stefan a little bit. He did play last week as well, so this is his second return for week number 2 as well. So both players make it the second time around. Hannibal looks like he is going to opt up for that Reaper expansion play. We do see gas coming down here on the other side of the map. Looks like we do have a hatch gas pool, as we do have that 17 hatch coming down here. Should be 17 gas pool as well, or hatch gas pool as I like to call it. The standard opener for Zerg. And we do have... Well, is he going out to scout? Yeah, this guy's going out to scout. Not doing anything too cheeky, is he? Very interesting that he is actually going to go out to scout this early with an SCV. I completely respect that decision, by the way. A lot of Terran players, a lot of players in general need to start using that first few drone, that first one drone, you know, maybe a probe to scout earlier. A lot of games these days are getting cheesed. I am kind of both a victim and a problem with that. The drone here going to come down here and hold up at the top of this ramp. I guess to make sure nothing cheeky is coming out here, to make sure there's no bunker being thrown down at all. He is going to opt for third base with this drone. That's the only thing I can figure is going to happen here is the third base will be thrown down. And Hannibal will see that there is hatch gas pool indeed. No third base on the way just yet for Zerg. We do have the natural command center being thrown down here on the low ground for Hannibal. As Reaper will make its way across the map, the Overlord of Stefan will see this. SUV going to head on home while this Reaper heads on out. And there's a drone right here. The drone here is actually hiding from this Reaper. I actually like this because he's going to come over here and go, oh, well, no drone here. Where's the third base? Why is there no third base down? And he's just going to walk away. He's going to come up here and there's some lings here. He should be able to shoot this Reaper away. Or they're going to be on hold position for a couple seconds. A grenade hitting himself there. That should prompt the Queen to come out and be in position to deal with this. But the Reaper won't find any more damage here. This drone is actually going to make its way back to the third base location here. For Zerg, and throw down the Expo. And on the other side of the map, here we got? We got some factory floating, some barracks floating. Looks like we're going to see the switcheroo to go into that stem behind this. You could struggle to land that factory a little bit. First two Hellions are on the way. Reaper was poking at this third base over here, and again, this is one thing about the Reaper. Like, if you're going to use this Reaper, there's two things you use it for. To deny that third base as long as possible, or to even just try to catch the drone in transition, like right down here in front of the natural and third base location. We do have some lings out on the map here. Oh, I missed this. He's going to the drop lord play. Alright, he's going to load up these lings and load them up and drop them into the command or main base here. Anything in position? No, there's nothing in position here to deal with this. Two Hellions are about to pop, but these Lings are going to find some huge damage. The Hellions are actually rallied to the natural base, so they're kind of out of position here. The Lings are just going to make their way into the mineral line. I'm going to get to work destroying these SCVs that just wanted to mine the minerals, man. The mineral drill coming down to try to keep as many of these as alive as they can, as they are not fighting back at all. They're just kind of sitting here idle, taking the beating. This Hellion will eventually clean up a few of these Lings, but 13 SCVs already falling. That's some huge economic damage done already to Hannibal, who is now behind workers, 40 to 18. And already some pretty cheeky damage being found out there, and we will see the Overlord still be used to get the scout off. Let's see exactly what the follow-up is here for our Terran opponent. Hear this harassment. Looks like he is just going to move out of the map, actually, behind that. Trying to find some economic damage of his own. A Viking going to pop out here to start cleaning up Overlords around the map. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, Hannibal is going to put pressure the Zerg player here. Stuff in here with 2 queens already. Should be able to start to clean this up very easily. There's no transfuse here. You're going to hit the queen? Queen gets away. 9 HP left on that queen. One more click on that. Like, one more round of flames from them Hellions would have killed that. But I imagine he is just going to hang out here and try and find any more damage. The Spinecrawler going to be added on in the third base. Meanwhile, we do have our Baneling Nest coming down here in the natural base location. We do have a counterattack coming out here while to our turret opponent. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, he does fry that queen. Transfuse is going to be thrown down on the second one to keep it alive to make sure no more damage can be done. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, a door is open. He closes it. Very nice response time by Hannibal there, but he is going to have to come out and deny some mining time to himself in order to repair these supply depots. These Hellions are going to come back and be able to clean this up. And with that, as we move into the next stages of the game, we do have +1 melee coming out here for our Zerg player. Meanwhile, a Terran player back home is getting 1-1. Kind of hiding that second engineering bay. I like that idea because if you scout with these lings, you're not going to be able to see it until you get into his base. So you don't know if he's doing 1 upgrade or 2. Meanwhile, this Viking finding some money, his money worth here, picking up a 4th Overlord kill. These lings looking like they want to try and find some more damage here. And the PP coming out here from Kevin. Alright, has some technical difficulties. The game will continue very quickly as we are just watching the replay. But back on the other side of the map. Ooh, okay, so we have a Spire coming out here. Normally, I see a lot of Ling Bling Buta play. Not Ling Bling Buta, Ling Bling Hydra. And he's actually opting to go for a Spire here instead of that. So already we're going to see that Widowmine. The Widowmine tech he's going into here to find some definitely more value out of it. It looks like they were playing on the Australian server. Hannibal doesn't realize that, but if you're playing on the Australia server, you're gonna lag out pretty hard. So it seems like both people did kind of notice a little bit of lag. But some Hellions gonna come up here and start frying these lings and take back this little watchtower. But with that, he does see the lings are going towards his main base. I don't know why he's keeping his army over here. See everything here? Okay, these lings should not get in here. The door is closed and there are Marines here, and they should be able to clean up these lings pretty quickly. Meanwhile, the pressure onto the third base once again. The fourth base is actually taken on the low ground, and Hannibal will get the scout on that as he pushes forward here. Stefan, with some queens and some mutas, should be able to hold on to this push very easily. As these Hellbats are going to come in here and get on top of these queens, but the Spinecrawler just chewing through these Marines. He's not focusing firing anything here. As the first medevac is going to get cleaned up, the lings are going to come back, and that's probably going to start to spell the end of this game. As the third base is just now starting up for Hannibal on the high ground. This is incredibly late for his amount of pressure he didn't put out. I understand he took some economic damage, but this is incredibly late. That is going to be the end of the game 1 here. As Stefan is going to press forward with these lings, start morphing into banelings as centrifugal hooks was done. We do have +2. We had 2-2 about to finish up for our Zerg player. +1 air is on the way. He's just adding on more and more mutas. 2-2 is on the way, and +1 ground for these tanks. Against mutas, these tanks aren't going to find the value you would hope. He should have just opted for more Widow Mines here. But already he's going to be able to just... I think he might just break the front. These tanks aren't siege, so if he breaks the front right now... Oh my god, that's going to be huge! Alright, the mutas are trying to pull the army back up into the main base, or at least the Marines. Tanks not siege, and they're pushing forward, trying to deny this command center from going down. Yeah, I do believe at this point he can just bust his front and go. There's 3 tanks out here. If you wait too much longer, these tanks are going to be huge. Holding this pressure. He is just kind of hanging out, not really finding any damage right now. The Marines are here to shoo these away. But it looks like he is going to figure it out and just go for it. The Viking is going to get picked off here. Not much one Viking is going to do against this many mutas. I think he only has nine mutas on the map. Actually, 17 total mutas. Where are the rest of the mutas? Oh, they're all hanging back here. Okay, so he should just bring those mutas on over. Probably using them to keep drops out. Gonna ignore the command center. It looks like Terran is gonna move down the ramp. This is pretty cheap. Ooh, this could be disastrous, but it looks like Zerg will have to pull back here. As these tanks do get sieged up, meaning they will not find any damage here. But he's gonna try and swarm them anyway from two different angles. The tank's actually on siege here! He does hold with the amount of Marines he has. The command center is gonna get picked off. All in all, still stuck on 2 base. I'm liking Zerg's position more and more and more as he did get more economic damage done, denying that 3rd base from Terran, but he did lose a bit of army. But he's still ahead in our army supply at 104 to 67. 2-2 is done for Terran, and +2 Carapace is about to finish up. So, upgrade advantage is slightly in Hannibal's favor here. And he needs to take a very good positional fight here to get anywhere. But these medevac's are going to be going a lot of overtime. Alright, he is going to knock down these rocks. I don't like the decision to knock down these rocks, actually. Sure, it's going to allow your Marines to push forward, but these rocks are a very good wall, basically. But at the same time, knocking them down does make it a little easier for your Marines to defend these tanks. So, it does have its advantages and disadvantages. As he is going to press forward here, these tanks just slowly press it forward. His tanks, folks, are a good unit. The 4th base of the Zerg does get taken out. But the army supply is still in favor of Stefan here. But these upgrades are everything right now. If we take a look at the upgrades, oh, some of the units here actually because of the fight coming up. He's just finding a really good position here. He's actually wedged in here pretty good now with these tanks. Looks like Stefan is going to try and set up a flank. These Lings up here in the north. But looks like we do have a run by Lings back home. There are Marines popping out here to deal with this. There's still 3rd base is finally down. Did he lift it? Yeah, okay. He lifted his main to get his 3rd. Which is understandable. But here we go. The swarm on the other side of the map. These tanks were caught kind of unsieged. And this all does get cleaned up very, very easily. That should spell the end of this game as he is behind economic and base count. But he does have Mule Hammer coming down, and that's the best part about Terran. Being able to float your command center, float your buildings away, but again, this should just prompt Stefan yet. Okay, Stefan is going to move out. As there will not be much Terran back home to deal with this. See that there is no 3rd base up here on the high ground. Going to get in here and clean up these Marines. And GG should be called here very shortly. And there it is. Game number 1 going to Stefan in the best of 3 series for the Master Set in Chobo. Week number 2 of Pigpan versus Insight Gaming. And I will be right back with game number 2 for you folks.